Good evening, YouTube Line. Today is May 11th, 2010, and I am 1 week shy of 2 months on T. I'm sorry I kind of fell face the planet for the past 3 weeks. Life was just nutty with grad school and my thesis and everything, but it's all over and done with, and your boy Evan's back on track. It's crazy. I can't believe how quickly time has passed by, both with the med transition and the past year. You look at the start of my academic year, I was still Leslie and female, and I'm graduating as Evan and male, and 2 months on T. Go figure. Um, so that's going on transition wise. The past 3 weeks, it's kind of followed the same old story. My body hair is getting a bit coarser. It's not really thickening. Voice is kind of stable out for the most part, but it's still dropping pretty consistently. My jawline has definitely squared out. I can't really pinpoint where or how, but it is. Well, downstairs is also growing a little bit, but that's becoming a lot more gradual than I think how it originally started. And something with muscle growth, it's still there. I actually saw my endo this morning, and we were laughing because even though I'm still low dose, my system is like sucking this tea up. It's loving it. At my lowest, I'm at 700. At my lowest. And most guys are between 300 and 1,000 in their highest. So we're going to get my high level soon to see where that is. But yesterday we decided not to increase it because clearly my system is taking LN. I did start to sprout some facial hair. I guess, I really wouldn't call it facial hair. It's more like my peach fuzz is just in that weird phase where it's growing. So actually I just shaved for the first time. And it went well. I didn't cut myself or anything, and I actually used the same aftershave as my dad, which I'm sentimental, and I sent him a message, and I was like, Dad, I smell like you, and it's good. I'm really happy with everything that I'm seeing and changes, and for the first time ever, I'm excited in the morning to wake up and look in the mirror and see how I look, and I love my voice. So that's really like physically transition wise. Emotion wise, everything's still pretty kosher. I'm not having any major mood swings, I'm not having any roid rage, and I think this is because we've got a good schedule worked out, a good regimen, so we're keeping it that way. Also because I can't go much higher. I don't really know. My levels would skyrocket if I did that. So the thing I want to talk about tonight though is kind of like a life transition and re-envisioning my future. This kind of came up saying I'm graduating on Friday. I'm looking at my cap, gown, and hood hanging up my wall, and I'm graduating, which means my formal academic career is now at its last end, and it's time to really start looking at the rest of my life because I've arrived. I'm Evan Hubbard, male, MSW, psychotherapist. I'm viewed as a specialist in gay and lesbian and gender identity and dysphoria. I've done a handful of workshops on that. People know of me and know that this is what I do, and I'm here. There's no denying that. But I don't really know where to go from here. That is kind of the problem. I've always had these broad, vague plans that I wanted to open up my own agency, and I've wanted to work in the gay and lesbian field. But I never really figured out how. But I think I finally found that, and that I think is there's a real need for kind of one center for gender identity in Boston. We have a bunch of amazing agencies that do some really fantastic work. But the problem is there's no real communication between them, from what I can tell at least. And they're pretty spread out. So if you want to get political advice, you gotta go to MTPC. They're amazing. They're the best place to go. We're glad. But if you want to get a letter and you're low income, you gotta go to Fenway or Sydney Borum. If you want to get OBGYN services, you gotta go to Fenway, not the Borum. And it's just there's no real heart or center for it, and there's a lot of need within the mental health community to be really comprehensive and educated about what it means to have a client who's trans and what they need from you. And I've interviewed a lot of my friends who are trans and a lot of other, I did some surveys online as well with my clientele and in the community, and also talked to a lot of mental health providers to kind of get a feel for like what is going on. What are the needs? What's not there? What is there? What is working? And all I'm seeing is that there's still this major gatekeeper role, and tied into the notion of not being trans enough. And when I say not being trans enough, I mean not being binary enough. And that might be, I might get some crap for that, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure when you go in to request any kind of transitional advice or assistance, whether that be medical, political, social, personal. You have to kind of sell it. You have to, I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to convince their therapist that this is really legit. And that's not okay with me. I mean, you come in and your identity is your identity. The only thing I'm questioning as your therapist is whether or not you're stable enough and in a place where you can make that decision. When I say decision, I mean decision to do any kind of action in terms of coming out about that. Obviously, being trans is not a choice, but the decision to come out and decision to transition if that's what you desire, that's the decision I'm talking about. And it's like, it just infuriates me that there are a lot of mental health providers out there that if I were to go to them and explain to them I identify as male, they would freak out about the fact that I'm on testosterone and that I'm going to get top surgery and that I'm male. And it bothers me because it's like, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. I feel so comfortable, and all my depression has gone away because of this. So I want to incorporate that in my HCCA. I also want to make it a less and less lengthy process. There's no reason that you have to come in and see me for 3 months, or live as male for a year, or female, or as your chosen gender. Like, it doesn't matter. You come in and you know that this is what you want, and you're stable, and you're not, like, you've got support, and, like, who the hell am I to say that you can't get your letter that day? I'm not going to do that, and I'm getting a lot of crap from the professional community for that, but the whole mantra of social work, and my personal mantra, is that you meet the client where they're at, and that the client is the expert on their own life. And if I'm going to sit here and tell someone that they don't know their gender identity, and that they don't know what's best for them, it's completely counterintuitive, and I'm not going to let that happen in my practice. There's also a lot of issues within low-income services that, in terms of transitional assistance, how do you go about getting a lawyer for a legal name change if you don't have a lot of funds kicking around, and how can you argue with your insurance to get testosterone covered without having it being a legal service? And a lot of things like that are missing in terms of like information about how to go about changing your name and your gender marker. And there's the things I've encountered that I don't know where to go to get the advice. And I'm calling 4 or 5 different agencies to get that advice, and they're sending me to different places, and they don't know. So there are also like a lot of things that are missing, like in terms of workshops on like, how do you dress to pass, and how do you do your nails, how do you shave, things like that. Like, when do you start shaving? Like, a lot of things for the entire trans community just aren't out there, so I want to kind of get within the community and have the community come in and be an active part of that. So there's that, and then I'm looking at my own personal future, and when do I want to get top surgery, and, do I want to get married and have kids? Do I want to travel the world? Do I want to, what do I want to do with my life? Because I'm here. I have the rest of my life ahead of me, and, like, I'm finally myself. I'm finally who I am, and I'm really coming into my own, and I'm just so excited to have a couple of weeks off to really define that and figure out where am I going to go, what am I going to do, and get excited and hopefully find a job in that process. So, hope everything's going well for you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I think I should be able to. So, take care everyone. Night.